We also ask that you do not stand up and move around whatsoever while the train is in motion, keeping your head, arms, and feet inside the cars at all times. Eating and drinking is not permitted, but water from an enclosed water bottle is just fine. So sit back, we are heading over to the Smiths Creek Station. We'll say goodbye to Ken, our station master, and Mike, helping to make sure that you are all in a safe place. Over to your left is the Susquehanna Plantation. It comes to us from Tidewater, Maryland, built in the 1830s. It was 700 acres big back in the day, and tobacco was its cash crop. Just in front in the field, they are growing tobacco, so you can see what tobacco plants did look like back in the day. And behind that is corn growing. Slaves were the ones that worked the plantation. When you do go into the home, a presenter there will tell you about some of the hardships the slaves endured. That orange home that you see there happens to be the oldest American home that we have here at Greenfield Village. It dates back to pre-revolutionary time, the early 1700s. It was a one-room home. You can go inside and take a look. It was the Plimpton family home, and they raised 7 children in that home. Imagine 9 children occupying that dwelling. It definitely will be inspiring. The Ferris windmill that we have was built in 1650 from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. It's the oldest standing windmill in the United States, and it was a gift to Henry Ford from his Ford Motor Company workers. And then we have the Daggett Farmhouse from Andover, Connecticut. Go in and be inspired by our staff, who will tell you what life was like back in 1754. And over to your left is our paddock for our horses, the drag Percheron horses. They're taking a time for some rest and relaxation, but they're the ones that will be used to pull the wagons around the village. Yes, and there are some wild turkeys. They all like to visit with our horses while they're here. Our steam locomotive pulling our train is called the Edison. It was built in the 1870s. It had gone derelict, and Henry had found it, purchased it, and had it rebuilt. By 1932, it was completed, and he called it Edison in honor of his best friend, Thomas Edison. Step over to the roundhouse sometime today. Look through the big doors and see our other 2 steam locomotives. The Torch Lake that was built in 1873. It's the oldest steam locomotive that runs through the country today. Henry Ford had a steam locomotive he used when he traveled, especially to Florida for business or personal use. That would be the Baldwin No. 7, built in 1897. Say hello to some of our staff. We are now entering into our wildlife preserve. Sit back and enjoy some of the sounds that a steam locomotive makes. We have an early 1860s strawberry party. As you move through the village today, 3 of our farmhouses will be making some of our foods, celebrating strawberries in Michigan. The state of Michigan was very big on producing strawberries. Over at the Firestone Farmhouse, they're going to be making strawberry ice cream. And then we have at the Daggett Farmhouse that we just passed, they're going to have a demonstration of making pound cake and some strawberry jelly. Over at the Ford home, They are going to be making strawberry shortcake. I hope you get a chance to walk around the village on Maple Lane. Over at the Chapman House, they'll have a kiosk there, and they're going to demonstrate some strawberry goodies there too. Here at Walnut Grove today, we begin our historic baseball. Our teams, the Lottie Dolls and Nationals, take on other Midwestern teams. They play according to the rule book of 1867. Back then it was called a gentleman's game. It won't be long before this area will be full of excitement. Go over to the townhouse if you plan on coming here for the baseball game. At 1 o'clock, a brass band will be escorting our players and our fans over to Walnut Grove here so that they have a wonderful entrance to Walnut Grove to begin our new season. In front of us is the Henry Ford Academy High School that was built in 1993. 10 through 12 graders have classes here. The 9th graders are over at the museum. They specialize in the STEAM program: science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Henry Ford believed that learning to do is by doing. The students have an opportunity to take what they learn in the classroom and they go to the village and the museum and see firsthand what it was that they studied. These vintage railroad cars here is for our privileged seniors who will be graduating very soon. To be a student here at the Henry Ford Academy, one must live in Wayne County, Michigan. After you put in an application, it's the luck of the draw. And you'll be able to attend high school here for 4 years tuition free. Quite the deal. Up the hill is the Martha Mary Chapel. Henry Ford built in honor of his mother-in-law Martha Bryant and his mother Mary Ford. Next to that is the Scott Sullivan School that was built in 1861, and also the Logan County Courthouse built in 1840. From Coatesville, Illinois, young Abraham Lincoln practiced law and was very good for it. A presenter will tell you more about those cases he tried. We also have the JR General Store. All of those structures were here when Henry Ford opened up the Henry Ford Museum back in 1929. Looking for something to eat, beginning here at 11 o'clock, hot meals will be served at the Taste of History restaurant until 3 o'clock. Beverages and snacks will be available after that. There, in honor of the strawberry party we're having, you can get a taste of a strawberry pie or strawberry shortcake. Next to that is the Eagle Tavern Restaurant. When you step back there into the doors of that restaurant, you enjoy a historic dining experience. 1850 to be exact. Our staff are dressed in period clothing, and they will hand you a menu selection from that time era. Today's feature is strawberry soda. As you can tell, we are really celebrating strawberries here at the Greenfield Village. We are now coming into the station. Remain seated. The engineer will set a brake and give us the sound of a single whistle. Wait until you hear that sound. You'll exit to your left right now. Say hello to Mary Ann, our conductor, Ginger, and Sue, our station masters.